Okay, so a couple of people joined in. Is the voice audible? Can I get a couple of comments or something? Is the voice clear? Okay. Hi, Ankit. Hi, everyone. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. We're waiting for more people to join in. So let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll start. Hi, Nandini. Hi, Murari. So most of your slots have been fixed. Can you tell me your slots and all? 20th October, window one. असल window one में what date? 15. Fair enough. Chalo, we'll start now. So I'll start with my introduction. I am Anuj Panega, and no, I'm not in NMIMS Mumbai. I had joined in that for 15 days, and then I left that for I am Visakhapatnam. So currently, I am based out of Visakhapatnam, and I had converted NMIMS Mumbai in the first year. So my last year, NMAT score was 219, which was well above 98, 99 percentile. And I got a call from Mumbai and Bangalore or Hyderabad. I did not fill up, but I recommend other people to do that. Also, I did decent enough in CAT. So we'll start with the session. Okay. So we'll start with the strategy. So what I recommend is that you should make your own strategy. As in, you've been given a lot of box, and by now you should be knowing that what is your strength. Okay, so the 11 is a perfect date. Works. So by now you should know what your strengths are. So you should actually know how was okay, Prashant will get back to it. Fair enough. So you should actually by now you should know your strengths and weaknesses. As in, you should know how can you start an exam and what section do you finish it with. So in my case, like I was told that you should start with English because you're fresh in your mind and whatever. So हर बंदे का अलग logic रहता है. Don't go with that. Uh, so I personally started with LR at first, because LR, like, you're fresh in your mind and it requires okay. So it requires actually a lot of brain muscle in LR. And post that, I started with quant, and then I went for English. Because English में you have stipulated time and stipulated questions. 22 questions है, बहुत कम time में करना है. So if we start with English, so the RCs that are coming right now are quite long, but are very in that matter. So what I recommend for RC is, do not go through the whole RC. Even if you're doing one RC with perfection and second with all fluke, you will get. So Soumya, I'll come back to it. We'll deal with vocab. That's not a big thing. We'll come back to it. So if we start with RC, you have to attempt one with full perfection, and the second should be, you should get a couple of questions right. So that should work. And for the rest of the part, the paper is vocab heavy this time. There are a lot of words that NMAT is asking, so somewhere around 5 to 6 vocab words directly, and post that a lot of analogies are also being asked, and analogies are also an extension of the normal vocab words. So RCs, yeah, I've covered RCs. So RCs, what I will suggest is that you go through the questions first and directly try to find out answers. As in, the questions given in NMAT are quite straightforward, and they'll be corresponding to the para. If there is question one, it would be, the answer would be in para 1 or 2. So it is pretty simple in that way. So this is how you can deal with English. Coming to the LR section, LR mein they are asking a lot of input-output questions. Till last year, okay, so I'll take a couple of queries. So Anurag, that were personal reasons. I had joined NM, then I was waitlisted at the Visakhapatnam. So that is off the topic. Go there. Sir, if I'm not good at math, then can I omit algebra instead of logarithm? Priya, I would not recommend using logarithms this time, because modern math में बहुत ज़्यादा इस बार focus है in math का. A lot of questions are being asked from PNC, probability, logs, APGP. So I don't recommend that you go without doing logs. Yeah, logs में कुछ है नहीं. You have to do just 5 formulas and you are done. वो simple, straightforward application होता है वहाँ पे formula का. Even if you're doing 5 questions per formula, you'll be through. And okay, so DI may you have to attempt 3. There is no two way about it. DI may you have to attempt a couple of sets with perfection. And Prashant, I'm not going there. Except logarithms, PNC, probability, a lot of questions are being asked here. So you can't actually in algebra specifically. So I'll come back to it. Like hold on to that thought. We'll come back to it later. So coming back to LR, input output, the input output questions have gone up. Okay. Wait. Yeah. So input output questions till last year they were only given a single set, but from this year they've actually decreased one DI set and have increased the ERA set. And what I specifically suggest is go through a lot of CRs, because this year they're focusing a lot on critical reasoning. So 14 to 18 questions are being asked from CRs. And coming to syllogism, a lot of them, there is no specific syllogism that they've asked till now in the past 3 days. And for Venn diagram, a Venn diagram is pretty easy. Like it is a very straightforward couplet, or 2 of these question set, which can be dealt with very easily. So if you are perfect at input output, some singlets and Venn diagram, then I think your job is done. Because sectional cutoffs are 60, 60, 55, 60, and 65. So 60 is for English, 55 is for 55 is for English, and LR and quant is 60, 60. That is what I remember. I may be wrong on this. Don't quote me on that. So I'll say that specifically CR can do a lot of focus. You can get past year questions. GMAT का question मिल जाएगा. जितना भी GMAT का क्वेश्चन freely available है, I'll recommend that you do that before going to the exam. A couple of words that I think are important would be just a second. Yeah. So last year, since the past 3-4 years, there is a word coercive that is coming up, and other words are inquietude, which means restlessness or uneasiness. These are some very typical questions that are asked every window every year. So these are very repeated high frequency questions. So you can actually go back and read all the antonyms and synonyms of these words. And so Venn diagram updates with. So LR is pretty much done. I'll say focus on single S. Coming to some queries now. Now since there is news that MBA opportunities are declining. Sir, I would like to take that offline. You can post the same question in the group. It is not that MBA opportunities are declining. It's like people are doing a lot of startups uh, whose technically efficiency is less than 5%. Like 95% of the startups fail in the first year. So it's not that MBA opportunities are declining. It's just like uh, coming to next question. Can I start QA from the end? Lovelace, I'll say any strategy that matches your potential should do fine. There is no specific strategy to go in any exam. Or especially in NMAT, there are six options that you can choose from, like what section do you want to attempt first. So actually, it's totally up to you. What I'll say, give a couple of mocks, give 3 or 4 mocks with different strategies, and see what works well for you. And post that, you can actually select the strategy that works best for you, and then go on and give a couple of more mocks with that strategy. So that should actually help. That is what helped me, because I had only 15 days to study for NMAT. I was working with EY when I was giving NMAT. So I studied for less than 15, 16 days. So it's not that you cannot crack it or something. It's pretty easy. And the questions that are coming up are very easy. Like if you go and see the logic and the type of questions that have been asked, they're very easy. Rohan, I'm able to attempt out 20 to 25 questions. In which section, Rohan? Rohan, please be a bit specific. In which section are you able to attempt 20 to 25 questions? Kritika, of course, is saying that I'm not good at math. Algebra except logs. No, Kritika, I would not suggest skipping any topic because NMAT has become very unpredictable and it is giving a lot of algebra questions. So I'll not suggest on skipping any question, any topic per se. When will Windows 1 score arrive? Windows 1 score typically arrives in the first week of November, first or second week. Last year it came at 7th November, as per I remembering, as per what I remember. And my weak area is verbal. Attempting this last would be good. Afzal, again, I'll say that there is no specific strategy to this. You'll have to attempt a lot of mocks and then decide your strategy to it. After mocks, I'm planning on the strategy. You can do that. Getting around 150 in 10. And, there is a lot to go, Sahib. There's a hell lot to go. 150 is you are there, but you need to do five questions each in every question, every section. Correct. More. So post that I'm able to solve RP, I think sometime able to comprehend. यार यहाँ पे comprehension का game नहीं है. It is all a speed game. It is not a performance based paper. So there are two types of tests. CAT is a performance based test where they will give you immense time to solve questions. Here NMAT is a speed based test. So speed based test में performance दिखाओगे तुम्हारी अपनी performance नीचे जाएगी. A very simple tool. Okay, रोहन का वापस से आया है 20 to 25 in LR. Rohan, I'll say take it to 28 and rest of all includes. Should work fine. 28 questions correct would lead you to somewhere around, like, even if you're getting 25, 26 right, it's fair. Like you're attempting 22, 23 questions, right? हाँ तो इसको 25 प्लस लेके जाओ, 28 प्लस लेके जाओ एंड 28 में से 25 सही होना चाहिए, बाकी सब 28 से 40 तुक्का मार दो. एंड इफ यू आर गिविंग ऑल फ्लूक्स, टेक द सेम आंसर, ईदर बी और सी. कभी ए और डी मत मारना, गलत होते हैं जनरली. जो भी मार रहे हो कॉन्स्टेंटली सी 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 थ्रू आउट द होल पेपर और एटलीस्ट थ्रू आउट द सेक्शन. ठीक है. उसके बाद व्हाट वाज द सोर्स ऑफ स्ट्रेटजी. यार आई हैव गिवन ओनली मॉक जानना. देयर इज आई टेकन समवेयर अराउंड 5-6 मॉक्स. उसमें हो गया था मेरा. सलोनी शारदा आईबीएस मुंबई अच्छा कॉलेज है. आई डू नॉट स्पीक इल ऑफ एनी कॉलेज फॉर दैट मैटर. ठीक है. विंडो 3 का विंडो 5 में आता है. विंडो 3 का आएगा आपका 13-14 दिसंबर पर. नहीं, उससे पहले ही आ जाता है. नॉट टू श्योर ऑन द डेट्स. सेकेंड वीक ऑफ दिसंबर मोस्टली. NMIMS नवी मुंबई ठीक कॉलेज है. डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ योर परफॉर्मेंस. आई एम वेरी वीक एट vocab and CR. Prashant Sharma, I am Visakhapatnam. Like you can Google it and get to know a lot of answers on Quora that I've posted. What is your take on? यार बहुत specific program. ISB is a good college. ISB is no doubt a good college. But if you are asking about a specific program, I do not have much knowledge about it. So that is another thing. Why you chose? Yeah, that's a personal choice. Ritwik. I did not like NMIMS, especially the culture. It was not like a suit for my personality, and I had personal reasons. Nothing specific for that. So coming back to strategy for quant, if you've seen the last 3 days papers, there are quant is pretty easy. Yeah, Pulkit, exactly. Very nice that you brought it up. Ask about the strategy, not the colleges. Yeah, placement, Rohan, is like placement is a byproduct of your studying. If you're studying well, your placements are guaranteed. If you pursue finance in NMIMS Mumbai, it's a great place to be. Quant जो अभी तक आ रहा है, which is pretty easy. Number system में a lot of things have gone up. So they're asking somewhere around 5 to 7 questions of number system. And average mixture allegation का काफी सारा questions पूछा है उन्होंने. And if you want specific topics, HCF, LCM, unit digit, remainder theorem, chart के जाना अच्छे से. There should be no question that should be left unturned. If you are able to do this, you'll guaranteed crack NMAT. Quant में 90 plus लाना इस बार is like a cakewalk. DI थोड़ा सा वो हो गया है. They are giving 4 or 5 sets, जो generally नहीं होता था. Till last year they were giving 5 sets completely, 20 questions for that. Now what they've done this year is they've taken one set to input output and another set to DI. So like they are switching between DI and input output. So if you're giving a set of given a set of 16 questions in DI, don't panic. Attempt whatever you can. Two sets in DI if you're given 16 questions is perfect. And if you're given 20 questions, I think you should attempt. You should perfectly do 3 sets. बाकी क्वांट काफी आसान आ रहा है. Some of the topics that I've touched upon are HCF, LCM, unit digit, remainder theorem, PNC questions आ रहे हैं. Logs में बहुत simple application of formulas and AP-GP का AP और GP में बहुत आसान 2-3 questions आए हैं which are typically very easy. And probability में वो wall वाला question 2 बार repeat हो चुका है अभी तक 3 दिन में. In the 9 windows till now, probability black ball white ball questions has been repeated 3 or 4 times. Yeah, correct. So this is pretty much the format about it. And coming to the strategy part, I suggest give at least 3 mocks or 4 mocks. Try to apply different strategies if you have time. जिसका अभी mock है, अभी final paper है in the next week itself. I'll say don't panic. Just get to know what is your strong area. Is it LR or English? And post that you can actually determine how can you go about the exam. ठीक है. Saloni Radha, 201 in mocks is good. You have to push it a little bit more. 210 का आसपास कट ऑफ रहना है इस साल भी. It is not changed for the past 4-5 years. It is not going to change this year. As per the exam are coming right now. LR was a little bit tough. LR थोड़ा tough हो गया है. You will be able to clear. You need to push a bit more. Window has got easier. Priya, ऐसा नहीं होता है कि like windows get difficult. It is how the scaling pattern works. It's not questions almost same आएगा, almost same level का होगा. But the point is scaling factor बढ़ता है और कम होता रहता है. What I suggest is पहला first window, second third window, third preference is fifth window. Second और fourth में मना किया जाता है. तो like ऐसा नहीं है कि उसमें दिक्कत होगा कुछ. पॉसिबल टू ठीक है, cool है. So strategy में मतलब अभी मैं यही बोलूँगा. You can go about attempting VA at first, verbal ability at first, then LR and then quant, or you can do LR, quant and then verbal. These are two specific strategies that I picked up, and the second one has worked better for me. You have to decide on what works better for you. Saket Singh, I do not recommend this. Like 3 DI सेट अगर तुम छोड़ोगे 16 क्वेश्चन तुम ऐसे ही छोड़ के आ रहे हो, 16 नहीं 12 क्वेश्चन तुम ऐसे ही छोड़ के आ रहे हो. दैट इज टेक्निकली 25% ऑफ योर क्वांट. 48 क्वेश्चन आता है क्वांट में. मान लो कि अगर तुम्हें अलजेब्रा का या नंबर सिस्टम का कोई एक भी क्वेश्चन नहीं आया, यू विल पैनिक देयर. तो व्हाई डू यू हैव टू, पहले से डिसाइड करके मत जाओ ना यार कितना डीआई का सेट छोड़ना है. वहां जाके यू हैव टू अडैप्ट टू द सराउंडिंग्स देयर. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ अ स्टिमुलस इज गिवन, उसके हिसाब से रिस्पॉन्स होगा तुम्हारा. माय स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया एलआर एंड वर्बल. मतलब वर्बल इज नॉट दैट स्ट्रॉन्ग. बॉर्डरलाइन निकला था बट मैं वर्बल पढ़ाता था पहले, सो वर्बल एंड एलआर. एब्सैट इज गिविंग वर्थ. ठीक है यार, देख लो. नो कमेंट्स ऑन एनी स्पेसिफिक कॉलेज. यार कैलकुलेटिव रहता है जाके. यू हैव टू स्पीड अप द थिंग. ठीक है. Some more, I'll just reiterate a couple of words. आरसी पैसेज के लिए यार बेसिक सेकेंड लेवल जीमैट का 500 पैसेज की एक बुक आती है, उसमें से सेकेंड लेवल कर लो. दैट शुड सफाइस you. And a couple of more words like which have been asked in the past year and are high frequency words are one is cantankerous, then you have deference. ठीक है. ये 5-6 वर्ड्स जो बताए हैं, काइंडली डू दैट. मतलब ये जनरली हर साल एनमैट पूछता है, सो लाइक इट्स लाइक ऐसा नहीं है कि हर साल पूछ रहा है तो इस साल भी पूछेगा, बट इट मे और मे नॉट आस्क. बट इट इज गुड टू नो आई कांट for obvious reasons of course. Cantankerous, and the other word is just a second. Just give me a moment. Yeah, deference and cantankerous. I've spoken it again. मतलब हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी वर्ड है, आ भी सकता है. यू कांट रियली से ऑन दैट. एनोलॉजीज अच्छे से करके जाना. ठीक है. एनोलॉजीज में इट इज गिविंग, इट्स जस्ट एन एक्सटेंशन ऑफ वोकैब. सो जैसे देयर स्पेसिफिक रिलेशन इज कुछ टाइप ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म एंड इट्स स्टडी. से bird का study is known as ornithology. So this is another analogy that can come. Yeah, correct है. Okay, not really. हाँ यार, मेरा देखो NMAT is 32 questions लिख दिया है यार किसी ने ऊपर, so you can actually read that. Okay. अब इसमें NMAT में क्या strategy है, like 32 questions है, you have 22 minutes for VA specifically. So if you are reading every passage, like all the questions, you'll not be able to complete it on time, leave alone the passages. So passages, what I suggest, एक पढ़ लो, just skim through it and then go to the question. सेकेंड में क्वेश्चंस देख के फिर उससे आओ. अगर मिल जाता है तो ठीक है, नहीं तो सारे 4 तुक्के मार दो. 4 में से 1 या 2 तो सही हो जाएंगे फॉर श्योर. और तुक्के कैसे मारते हैं? ऑल द सेम ऑप्शन, ऑल सी 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 और ऑल डी बी 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 बी। ए और डी थोड़ा कम प्रोबेबिलिटी रहता है। ठीक है, शुड बी क्लोज है? एनी अदर स्पेसिफिक डाउट? चलो, हाँ हाँ, बी या सी में से कोई भी मार रहा है, कोई लोड नहीं है। ठीक है, चलो जो भी वर्ड्स बताए हैं उनका एनोलॉजीज देख लेना। एंड यार मेरे को याद नहीं है, तीन किए थे शायद, 3 या 4 मेरा पूरा सही था, बिकॉज आई डिड नॉट नो मैथ। मेरा मैथ थोड़ा हाथ टाइट है। एनोलॉजी हम लोगों ने एग्जांपल दिया था, इट इज नॉट अ टिपिकल। जैसे स्टडी ऑफ बर्ड्स इज नोन एज व्हाट, स्टडी ऑफ प्लांट्स इज नोन एज व्हाट, ऐसा था। हाँ, अरुण शर्मा DILR इज गुड फॉर दैट, लाइक अगेन अ ब्रांड इशू। स्केलिंग कैसे होता है यार, ये भगवान जानता है या एनमैट वाले जानते हैं, मैं तो नहीं जानता हूँ। लाइक कोई कोचिंग वाला ये नहीं बता सकता कि स्केलिंग कैसे होता है। बीट कैट, बीट एनमैट, बीट जैट, किसी को नहीं पता स्केलिंग कैसे होता है। ठीक है, और भगवान नहीं है। तो DI सच मैंने शायद आई थिंक 3 या 4 किए थे, 16 क्वेश्चन करेक्ट। बिकॉज मेरा मैथ्स मेरे को नहीं आता था, एंड आई गॉट अ टोटल ऑफ 92 93 मैथ्स ओनली। तो देख लो उसके हिसाब से। ठीक है यार, विल क्लोज इट है। थैंक यू एवरीवन। थैंक यू।